Hello, Council Bluffs Area Chamber of Commerce members. This is Drew Camp, President and CEO of the Council Bluffs Area Chamber of Commerce, here with another candidate interview as part of our preparations for the primary election on June 7th. Today, I'm here with County Recorder candidate Jenni Sandau. Jenni, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Jumping right into the questions, a pretty broad question, but an important one nonetheless. What do you see as the top issues for Pottawatomie County, and how will you address them if you're elected to the position?
Sure. So I answer these from the position of county recorder. So for me, I would say ease of use. I wasn't handpicked to run for this office. I made the decision based upon my professional experience and my desire to serve the residents of our county. In, I guess, the best fashion of figuring out how to do that best, I visited with residents and also other Iowa recorders to understand how they've done that within their own offices, to be able to take some of their feedback, what's made that successful, and carry that into the office and moving forward. As an elected official, I feel it my responsibility to always be working with other local and government officials to always be improving Pot County.
Thank you, Jenni. And the best part is there's always both the national and the state level professional organizations to utilize that for. So I'm glad to hear that. That's always a great resource. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of looking more from the statewide perspective, what do you see as the biggest issue at the state level, and how would you address that and advocate for or against it if elected to the office of recorder?
Sure. So as a recorder, the job is data and making it accessible. Like I said before, working with local and state officials, legislators, to continue to move Pot County in a positive direction. For me, I want to be hands-on in making where we are a great place to continue to make memories with my children. When it comes to a specific issue, I don't know that I have something that I would say is I would be working on directly right when I jump into the recorder's office. But I feel that just as a resident and an elected official, you have a lot of power to take what our residents say on and move it up the ladder to hopefully make change for that.
Yeah, and it goes back to what you said as well with those state and national organizations to utilize their resources as well. And then looking at the next piece is opportunity. I always like to, with our organization, we're always looking at opportunities for growth to enhance the prosperity of the community. So what do you see as the biggest opportunity for the county going forward?
So I say accessibility, modernization. And I say that in looking from the office perspective. So I definitely answered these questions from the role that I feel like I would be elected for. It's when you look at online accessibility, allowing individuals to be able to do as much as possible from where they're comfortable. I mean, we're all very busy and everyone loves to have that instant access, and not that the office should never be open and officials should never be there for their residents, because I do believe that's true. But if they want to be able to handle those things when they have 2 minutes, whether it's 2 minutes in between a meeting or 2 minutes from dropping kids off at school between a function, anything like that. So accessibility for me is a big thing. I have 4 kids and they keep us all very busy. So running the household and managing that, sometimes you getting in and out of places is a little more challenging. When it comes to the modernization piece, I feel like the office in general it runs well. I think that it's been run by a lot of the same people for a very long time, and they're a great asset to our county. I think having a fresh perspective, which I would, coming from a very different background, can be beneficial. I said to someone that we can all get into a routine of doing the things the way that they've always been done. So it is helpful to have someone that hasn't always done them that way to come in and ask the questions and truly dive deep and see if that is the best way to have them function.
And as someone who has 2 young children, so you're doubly as busy, but I can identify with the accessibility, functionality, and ease of access of things. So I appreciate you noting those pieces.
Yeah.
So if elected to the position of recorder, how would you work with the chamber and the business community to move Potawatomi County forward?
Sure. So the business community has always been something that has been ingrained in me since I've been little. My grandparents actually owned a small grocery store when I was growing up for just over 27 years. So I grew up in the back room while, unloading trucks, stocking shelves. I was eventually promoted to cashier in high school, which I think my grandma second guessed a few times. So that piece for me was extremely important. Then when I went into, as an adult, I worked in food distribution. And while they have a corporate piece, my focus was always the local businesses in working and partnering with them on how to get them involved in the community. And, the chamber is an entity that assists in that. So that is much appreciated. And fast forward to now, I have the opportunity to be a part of another small business, local business, like with my husband and father-in-law. And I currently work for a local business owner part-time from home. So the piece of business and supporting local business and continuing to find ways to want our residents to invest is extremely important to me, because that's what keeps people wanting to come back. That keeps our families and generations wanting to stay here, and people hopefully from across the river wanting to make roots here.
And you've referenced it a little bit earlier, some of the unique skill sets that you can bring to the position. So specifically, this question asks, what unique skills would you bring to the position?
Sure. So I don't know that I feel like management for me is a unique skill that sets me apart from the other 2 candidates that I'm running against, management and being a self-starter. So in my management roles, I was promoted to lead a team of individuals that were my peers or had been in the role prior to myself holding that position. And initially that can be an extremely intimidating task, but it taught me how to be a strong leader and not to just manage them. And I guess I've been extremely fortunate to have mentors throughout my career that taught me how important it is to understand, I guess, what drives each individual. Because if you understand their passion and what helps them show up every day, as a team, you can accomplish anything that you guys set your minds to. And for me, in the role as county recorder, the office is there to record documents and, create all of that for our future generations. But when I look at what the responsibilities of the recorder themselves do, it truly is in managing the team and making that an environment that is efficient and enjoyable and helps keep our residents satisfied.
Yeah, I'm glad you specifically referenced kind of a team and the culture. There's a lot of data obviously out there. Just one I saw today, earlier this week, about obviously pay is the #1 thing for graduates of the 2022 class. Culture and the environment in which they work is #2. So very important.
Yeah.
So as you look at moving ahead to 2 weeks from this coming Tuesday at the June 7th primary, why do you think, in addition to some of the other things you said, why do you think voters should cast their ballot for you versus the other 2 candidates for recorder?
Sure. I feel like as an accomplished leader, I have the maturity and fresh perspective on the processes to continue what has already made the recorder's office a great place, and keep our county growing in a fashion that grows population and continues to bring people back.
Yeah, that's a very good goal. That's what we've been trying to do as an organization with our partners as well. And we look forward to, if you're elected, working with you to try to get that done. So thank you very much for joining us and providing us some of the insights on some of your thoughts on your candidacy for recorder.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.